first and foremost, want to say hello, my El Bashim El Shah Bashim Baka Kodash. The one is the elders and apostles, great most on GMS with the rule and teach well. Gonna get to, quick topic. Right, this is the book of Deuteronomy 28:54. So the man that's tender among you, very delicate, his eyes should be yield toward his brother, toward the wife of his bosom, to the woman of his children we shall leave. Right, so the man that's just normally kind among you, tender-hearted, I guess his name NLT, will have no compassion for his own brother, right? And we know that we're all children of the patriarch Jacob, right? We're all brothers, right? This tabernacle, of David, right? And I mean, which is made up of the elect, right now, but after this place is destroyed, everyone's gonna be in their right mind because all Israel shall be saved in the kingdom, right? But these 2/3, these wicked Israelites, they're gonna be reincarnated, as our offspring, as our progeny, right? But so that the man that is tender among you, right, shall be evil to his brother, right? So, if a Jake is in the hood and tries to, better himself and tries to not do, hood nigga activities, right? The other niggas in that hood, will try to get him in trouble, right? Or if a Jake is, getting a good job, right? The other Jakes will try to pull him down and bring him back to, his level, right? And speaking, I'm just saying, like, in general in the world, right? But in this truth, man, they may not know that you're in the truth, or they might, right? They might have seen you out there by chance or whatever, right? But they could tell that something is different about you now because you're not moving the way that you used to move. You're not eating the same food. You're not, you're not partying and reveling, and doing whatever nonsense you were doing before. Just make an example, right, of what goes on in the hood, really. You're not engaging in that madness no more. They try to pull you down into that, right? And, that all goes into that, crabs in the barrel mentality, right? Why our people, why we stay at the bottom, right? And until, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Yahushua comes down, on words of the other father, hell and our chariot crack these skies, right? Our people just ain't gonna be right, man. Right? They're gonna get right. These 2/3 gonna get right in the kingdom. It's only the elect, right, which are right, And this is the book of Amos, chapter 9, in verse 10. Oh man, and 11. In a day will I raise tabernacle of David that has fallen, and close the breaches thereof, and I'll visit with ruins as it was in the days of old, right? So Lord is gonna raise up, tabernacle of David that's fallen, right? Fall, those getting taken down, as a people, 70 AD, and then taken down. Not only the kingdom getting taken down over here, but the conquistadors, and brutalized, and then, the southern kingdom being dragged from, like, the west coast of Africa, and also from Europe, but that's another story. They're dragged, over here, right? And being brought down and taken down, because you did also have Jake that was in Europe, and they also got, taken down as well, right? The Moors and all that, right? And become, slaves, right? And those breaches, those enmity, let me see here. Judah shall not. Damn it. Right? Yeah. So yeah, the breaches, all that enmity, all that, everything's gonna be rebuilt, right? And it's not a physical, tabernacle. It just means the body, right? And that starts with us, brothers. And the truth of the kingdom starts with us, right? You show up to the camp. We're not, your brothers aren't straight up just wilding out. Everything's in order. This brother speak, so on and so forth. Everyone's cordial, right? And that's the way we're supposed to be, right? And this is an example for us affiliate brothers to be like. We have to be in that same kind of energy, the same kind of spirit, right? Right, I'll get here. That's that verse 13, where I get to the point, right? The envy also Ephraim shall depart. Adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim, right? And this is what goes on, amongst the tribes, right? They envy Judah. Judah vexes Ephraim, right? Sometimes the other way around, right? When you see it in the world. And then you got, all the madness with, amongst each individual tribe themselves, right? Judite and Judite crime, Judites, trying to fuck up other Judite's life. Judite try to, do something with his life. The other ones will try to get him and pull him down, right? So let's get up. All right, so I looked at black men, crabs in a barrel, but it's not really just among black men. It's really among all the tribes, right? The crab in the barrel refers to a group of people out within a specific social group who hinder the progress of others within that group out of envy or competitiveness. In the context of the black men, it's often used to describe a perceived tendency to pull others down, right? Which it isn't a perceived tendency, it just is, right? Even in the workforce, in the corporate world, you have one Jake, you have to fucking kiss ass, and you make one mistake, that Jake will fucking throw your ass under the bus in a heartbeat. And that's why with these jobs, it's all the more important to, cover yourself, right? And always have plan Bs and ways that you can defend yourself, right? Like if they tell you show up here, maybe take a photo of something nearby. I'm not, I personally don't do that, but it depends on your situation. Or, show your GPS coordinates on Google Maps, show that you're there, or, when I was, I had another job, and if I was told to do something, I would put it in the notes of that job that I was ordered by, this person to do X, Y, Z, right? Or, you could do that too if you have like a kind of like a clerical job where, you have to talk to the, like a supervisor or something if something goes wrong or whatever. Always cover yourself, no matter what. Fuck these people. Alright, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquities, see the evildoers, children that are corrupters, that forsaken the Lord, they're provoking the Holy One to Israel to anger, they are gone away backwards, right? And this is why our people, while we are under these curses, is because we turn from the Lord, right? And this is what our people are, a sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, right? Full of iniquity. See the evildoers, right? All they do is do evil, right? And, that wasn't, my story, with, the Jake that always pull other Jakes down. But, you always hear about it, all the time. Oh, the good kid who hung around the bad crowd, right? So-called good kid, right? No one's really good anyway, right? Because, at the end of the day, we all, we're all sinners, man. None of us on this earth are perfect, man, right? One of these sinful bodies, right, will be perfect in the kingdom, right? Forget that, that's my watch. Casio, the old one, was the F92 Casio. It's a good gym watch, but it just beeps every hour, which is a kind of a pain. they're going way backward, right? Because back then, you know, our people kind of try to get it together for a little bit, and then they would go off again, get it back together again, and they go off again, right? And the prophets of old, the leaders of the nation, they always prayed for our people as a whole, for the Lord to have mercy, and the Lord had mercy. He didn't destroy them from off the face of the earth. That's what you read in Ezra. Therefore, have they prayed for the weak, right? Our forefathers, they prayed for the nation as a whole, and they failed the Lord over and over and over again, right? And that's why you get things like Jeremiah 15:1, right? Get these people out of my sight, right? Though Moses and Samuel stand before me, yet my eye cannot be toward his people, right? And that's before Babylon, right? So the Lord punished us heavily. And then, he did that to the northern kingdom, right? And then they came over to America, right? And then the southern kingdom punished them again with 70 AD, right? And then punished them again with the Renaissance, right? Revelation 20. And then, that was just the beginning of their punishment. And then the northern kingdom had to get their punishment, when those Edomites, came down over to them and put them down too. And then dragged Judah, from the west coast of Africa and dragged them to America, to the Americas, south, north, south, and north, south, and Central America, all across the Americas to serve bondage, man, to be slaves in the West Indies as well, and the Caribbean. Man, why should you roll anymore? Why should you be stricken anymore? You're more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. Right? Why should you be stricken anymore? Right? With these cursings, with these, calamities, with our people being in this low condition, with these illnesses. Right? That's part of the curses too, man. It's these diseases, sickle cell, right? And all these different diseases that people get, cancers and so on and so forth. And then our people eating these shit foods, right? And having the spirit to eat these shit foods and love eating these shit foods, right? Which, I'm not going to get on a brother for, that's his choice of diet. But it's different in the world. Right? These guys will have a fried chicken sandwich and a blunt in the other hand, right? At least us in the truth, we know that the food is, is shitty. We know that we're not supposed to be eating this shit, but maybe they know, and maybe they just don't care to know. I don't know what these people. I don't know what's going on. These 2/3 head, right? Like it says, the whole head is sick and hard, faint. Right? These people are out of their mind, right? And that's just all that affects slavery, right? The whole head is sick, right? Yeah, they're basically sped, right? Our people who continue to serve our adversaries and love them, right? Absolutely, right? What the fuck? They put nutsackers? Why the fuck did I put that there? It's wild, bro. I think I maybe copied that from someone else. I think I was maybe watching a brother who made that joke, and then I just copied it, and I just was laughing my ass off. Actually, maybe I didn't write that, or maybe I did. I don't know. But yeah, they are, in a way, nutsackers. But they're they'll just come back as our kids. That's a good one. Maybe I did write that one, but or maybe I got it from someone else because I'm not that funny. But yeah, you come back as our progeny, as our children, right? These 2/3, right? And yeah, part of that whole head being sick is that enmity, that envy that our people have between each other. That's why so like So you look at Jacob was pointing out, oh look at these Bangladeshis and look at these Amalekites. Why can they have this and fourth? Well, not really Bangladeshis. Amalek is like, if you go into these Amalekite neighborhoods, they're beautiful. Like every single one of them are just like fucking good, right? I mean, there's some damn devils, but it goes to show you that they got the fatness of the earth. They damn sure got it. They got these $1 million plus houses, right? You go over damn near where the fuck was it? Where was it? It's on Bedford? No, it's not on Bedford. It's not on Bedford. Actually, yeah, kind of around Bedford. If you go around like the Midwood area, certain pieces of that, like Amlec, like East, it was like East 47th. Yeah, like East 47th. Um, Not in Manhattan, but in Brooklyn, over down there, Borough Park, Amlec. They got like nice ass places, man. You know, they work together, and then they buy properties off of the people that live nearby, and then they connect the houses. You know, if they want to have a school there, they'll buy the properties nearby, and then connect them together, and then they have these massive schools. So, and they work together, and you know, our people can't do that, and of course they have operating as employees. They get you know, these other Kingdom Jakes, right? Whether they be, you know, Colombians or Issacharites or, you know, whatever. And they get them there, and they learn a little Spanish, and then they are able to tell them, hey, I want you to do this, this, and forth, clean this up, do this, and they, you know, lord over them, you know. But I'm gonna let that be that. Lo, and edify, shalom.